guys, welcome to a new video on Learn Spanish with Worlds Across. If you think you hated grammar, it's because you haven't learned it with Worlds Across yet. Today, we have a very special video, guys, because we are going to talk about something that you may be studying this for a long time. I know you have seen this in several classrooms, in books, maybe in Duolingo. And it's the famous simple present, the simple present of indicative mood in Spanish. And you may be thinking, oh, Juan, simple present, that's very simple, that's easy. Simple present is things that are happening in the present, like I'm watching your video, estoy viendo tu video, voy al supermercado, voy a comer con mi mejor amigo, I'm going to eat with my best friend. I'm in the supermarket. Wait. Not really. It's not as simple as the name stands. It's kind of tricky. So, simple present refers to specific actions, but not everything related to things that are happening in the present. That's the tricky part. Okay? So, when do we use it? Let's go to the chase. When do we use this structure? We use it to describe routines, and look at this. This one is very interesting, the near future. We're going to talk about that like with detail in a second. And then the truth. Okay, Juan, but you're not mentioning the present, what's happening here. I don't really understand. Why? I usually work with this structure after said and started those famous monsters. I'm going to tell you why. We usually work with the simple present of indicative mood in Spanish when you're at the beginning of your journey because it shows the logic behind conjugations, behind structure, behind pronoun plus verb conjugated plus the rest of the sentence, right? To illustrate that in a simple way. Then it can get a little more complex when you go to the past and the near future and the imperfecto, but this is to illustrate how the structure works. Okay? So, again, let's talk about the use of the simple present of indicative. Routines. We don't really use the simple present in the present to describe things that are happening in this moment. Like, for example, I'm teaching you. Te estoy enseñando. That's a different structure. That is a structure called the present progressive. It's a different way to structure this sentence. But the most common use of the simple present is when we want to talk about routines. Alright, what is a routine, Juan? No, I take a shower every day. I try to. And I eat cereal every morning. I go to the church every 2 weeks. I usually travel on the weekends. Todo eso, all of that, are routines. And that's when the simple present is the main character, okay? So, what do we need to build the simple present, right? We can see this example is yo como todos los días. Here we have the classic pronoun, you know it, yo. You know that pronoun is I, right, in English. Como, we have the verb conjugated in the present, and that's when it gets interesting. You know this. We have 3 types of verbs. Verbs ending in AR, ER, and IR, like amar, correr, y reír. And in Spanish, we have a different approach than you have in English. And let me explain to you a little bit more about that. In Spanish, usually the verb would change according to the pronoun. Okay, Juan, but what do you mean? This is not rocket science. I want you to explain. Oh yeah. Think about this for a second. In English, if you want to use the verb read, leer, and you want to say it that you usually read Harry Potter on the weekends. I don't know, because you're that kind of Potterhead. I read Harry Potter on the weekends. But what if you're talking about your wife or your husband? The verb would change. He reads. She reads. You put the S, right? You conjugate the verb. In Spanish, it's the same thing, but we make it a little more complex because it's not just one conjugation when you talk about she and he. We change when we have the pronouns yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, ellos y ellas. So basically we change it. Does that mean I need to memorize hundreds of conjugations? That's a good part of the story. No, that's not true. What it's going to happen is you're going to find patterns. You're going to discover that they follow in a specific sequence, in a specific logic. For example, with the verb amar, we have all verbs ending in AR having the same behavior. Same with correr and same with reír. All verbs? Not all verbs, but we're going to talk about that. Of course, we have regular verbs, we have affective verbs, different part of the story. Alright, so again, to talk about routines. Yo como, pronoun plus verb. You know that verb is comer in infinitive. We conjugate it and we put that O at the end. Yo como, and then we have a time expression to express that it's a routine. Every day. Todos los días.
By the way, if you would like to have an awesome class with a native Spanish speaker, you can go to worldsacross.com and try us out. Free trial. You can take a regular grammar-based class or a conversational class or even crosstalk, whatever suits you best. And the best part is that there are live classes, not pre-recorded videos like this one. So whenever you're ready, just click the link, start trial, and see for yourself. But for now, let's go back to learning.
I said that I was going to give you some detail on the near future because by itself, the near future is a structure, a different structure. But we use this expression, this simple expression, yo voy a clase. I am going to class, right? I'm going to class. Look at this. Even when this could be like a different independent structure, it's built with a simple present form. Because voy is a conjugation of the verb ir in the present for the pronoun yo. Super interesting. We're going to have a different video, an independent video to talk about specific cases in the near future, okay? But this is very interesting. Understand that voy, simple present. That's the conjugation of the verb ir, to go. All right. And then we have the truth. That's how I call this part of the whiteboard, the truth. Because that's when simple present is also useful to describe things that cannot change, that are universal truth. My example is, el sol es grande. And you're very smart. You're saying, wait. I see es. I see the verb ser. The sun is big. That's true. That's how you learn the verb ser and start at the beginning, right? With simple present to make descriptions. To say something about that, la tierra es redonda. Or maybe yo soy alto, yo soy inteligente. All of those are structures in the present, right? La tierra es grande, la tierra es redonda, la poesía es hermosa, you name it, okay? So this specific situations is when we use the simple present. How often do we use it in real life? Usually to make descriptions and usually to talk about routines. Cuando hablamos de rutinas, yo desayuno huevos todos los días, después voy a la oficina, simple present. Después monto mi bicicleta, ride my bike. That's when the simple present is more commonly used. Okay? So guys, I'm finishing here. Do you have specific examples to share with us to sentences in the simple present, put them in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Adios!